Hello, it's Mimi Siku. I am just coming at you with probably a shorter video today. I say probably because I am not sure how long it's going to be. I am looking at the dev updates today blind and recording this for y'all. So we're going to go through and see how it is. Okay, so the first thing on here it says is blood web cost reduction. Okay, it looks like they are reducing the... Oh, cool! Wow, ultra rare items are being reduced 2,000. That's amazing. Okay. And then very rare is reduced by 2,000. Rare, okay, so it goes down a little bit each time to 1,000 reduction. Okay, looks like they say here 33% reduction in blood web cost is effectively the same as increasing blood web earnings as 50% across the board. For example, 30,000 blood points can be exchanged for 15 common nodes when priced at 2,000. At 3,000 blood points, you would need 45,000 blood points to get to the same number of nodes. Okay, that actually does seem like a significant reduction. So it seems like their previous reduction in the last patch didn't actually do as much as they were hoping. So I'm glad that they're coming out with this. Also, I'd like to see more, once you've prestiged a certain amount, people are having issues getting those ultra rare, very rare items in their smaller blood webs. So I'd like to see more of that like dispersed throughout all of the blood webs. The next thing that they are going through is camping and tunneling. In this mid-chapter, we added 5 seconds endurance and haste effect to all unhooked survivors. These status effects are designed to give the unhooked survivor a fighting chance by allowing them to get to a nearby pallet or window if the killer decides to chase them. We release this feature with safe numbers to ensure that things don't get out of hand. Now that we've had some time to see how they play out, we feel comfortable increasing them further. In 6.2.0, we will be increasing the durations. Oh my god! They're increasing haste and endurance effects to 10 seconds. Additionally, we'll be increasing the haste effect. Oh my gosh. From 10% or from 7% to 10%. Wow. I mean, honestly, when I would play, I didn't notice the survivors being unhooked and being any faster than me. So I'd run next to them after I unhooked them, and I was like, where's this haste? Where is it? Come on. It seemed like it wasn't even working. That's crazy though. I wonder, like, because I have been tunneled several times, and ever since the update, it seemed like camping and tunneling was almost worse because with off the record and everything like that, all these new endurance status effects that provide a lot of safety for a long period of time as long as you don't do a conspicuous action. It seemed like the killers were more incentivized to get that hit within the first 5 seconds after you were unhooked, and that way they wouldn't have to worry about off the record or anything else that you had. So that's kind of a nice change. But how will that affect regular BT? Because as it was, BT added it so that it was like up to 15 seconds, I believe. So it added another 10 seconds before. So is it going to be 20 seconds if you bring BT now? Okay, so next we're talking about a perk change, Medal of Man. In a recent update, we released a new version of Medal of Man, which worked consistently with other endurance effects. Many of you voiced concerns with this version of the perk being weaker than before. Heck yeah, we did. It was garbage. It was so garbage. Like, it was totally an unnecessary quote-unquote buff that made it absolutely trash. Our intention with this change was never to make the perk weaker. Therefore, alongside the chapter release, we will be reverting the recent update to Medal of Man. Medal of Man will instead grant a unique protection effect that is not cancelled by conspicuous actions like endurance. To help differentiate them, this perk will no longer cause the endurance status effect to appear in the HUD when activated. Okay. Post PTB changes. Reassurance. Alright, so we got some more perk changes. This perk allows you to pause the hook progression of another survivor, buying you and your team a little bit more time to work on generators if a killer is camping. Reassurance had a 40-second cooldown and could be used repeatedly when coordinating with other survivors. This could have been abused to keep the hook survivor permanently on the hook. Yeah, that was definitely happening. For the release, we have removed the cooldown of reassurance. Instead, reassurance can only be used once per hook instance. The effects of this perk can still be chained together if multiple survivors are running reassurance for a maximum delay of 90 seconds. This will keep the perk's effects potent without being abusable. I am going to be honest here, like it was totally stringable, but I feel like if a killer is camping, they should be punished for it. And this was a good method of punishing for it. So hopefully that survivor that was on the hook can at least run the killer for a little bit before they get hooked. But in solo queue life, you know these kids be going down immediately. So, like if you were solo queuing before, you'd be able to wait for the cooldown to run up and then run up yourself and reactivate it. But now you pretty much need to Swift to get the full value out of this. I don't know when they have plans to fix solo queue and kind of balance it more towards Swift. Hopefully soon. Not in this update, it appears so far. Alright, Awaken Awareness. This perk grants the killer aura reading while they are carrying a survivor. On the PTB, this effect also lingered for 2 seconds after the carried survivor was dropped, hooked, or wiggled free. This effect could be a little oppressive on certain killers, especially when paired with Lethal Pursuer to extend the aura reading effect, and Starstruck to make survivors exposed. For the release, we've removed the lingering aura reading from Awakened Awareness. Okay. Lethal Pursuer will no longer extend the duration of Awakened Awareness. Oh. Huh. That just doesn't seem... It's kind of weird that Lethal Pursuer is like specified. All aura perks will have a 2-second longer duration, but except for not Awakened Awareness. I don't know if they'll start looking at other aura perks and decide that they also need to be not affected by Lethal Pursuer. We'll see how that turns out. Low profile. Alright, low profile hides your scratch marks and pools of blood when you become the last survivor for 70, 80, 90 seconds. Unfortunately, this meant the perk would only activate once per match, and only if you happen to be the last survivor standing. For the release, we changed this to include any time you're the only survivor who is not dying, hooked, or dead as well. Nice, okay. Allowing it to activate throughout the match. Additionally, low profile will also mask your grunts of pain in addition to its existing effects. Okay, that's very helpful. Better than new. This perk granted any survivor you healed a 6% action speed bonus to healing, repairing, chest opening, and totem cleansing for 25, 30, 35 seconds. And they say that the duration was too low, and now it's going to grant a 12, 14, 16% action speed bonus with no duration. Okay, that's cool. It'll just deactivate the next time you take damage. But it also looks like it's not going to affect repairing anymore. It's just healing, chest opening, totem cleansing, and blessing. Because, I mean, healing speed bonus isn't that great when you already have boon to go to heal someone in. Anytime you get a perk that allows you to have repair speed bonus, that's kind of like, to me, the clincher right there, and they removed that. So I don't think I would be using this perk, really. Anytime I see a healing speed bonus, unless it's will make it, I don't really use it. So then we are going into some PTB changes. They're making some changes to the mastermind. And they said his collision detection was too sensitive. He would bump into objects he shouldn't have. Okay. I actually didn't find his collision too sensitive. I found him like super easy to use, super easy to grab people. Vaulting was super fun. Virulent Bound interacts with pallets and windows. They're polishing that. The Mastermind bound towards windows. Okay, the survivors will not take damage, so now they're going to take damage. Okay, standing too close to a vault location as the Mastermind bounds over will result in a survivor being injured. Alright, so they're revisiting the power in loops. His base movement speed seemed to be a little bit too slow, according to them, in between bounds. I found him, like, incredibly fast. I don't know if people were having a hard time on the PTV as the killer. I didn't see anybody who was able to really loop him very well. But even including watching videos from and streams from people like JRM and Aaron and stuff, they had a couple of good runs, but those were probably like newer killers or newer to the game because MMR in the PTB is not really a thing. Anyways, so they are changing his bounce speed from 2.3 meters per second to 2.76 meters per second, which is the time in between bounds. His second bound is freaking insane though. It was like, it didn't look like he should be able to grab you, but he would go like way farther than expected and just grab you. And his hitbox is messed up for his grabs too. Like, you'd be way outside, like to his right or left significantly, and he'd still be able to grab you. Virulent Blood is ability to throw survivors at each other, injuring both survivors in the process. Oftentimes, those unfortunate enough to have their friends flung at them would not realize they had been injured. Yeah, that's true. I had no idea my first time going into the PTB how his power would work, and I was like running down the hallway, and I was like, wait a second, how the fuck am I injured? Last but not least, oh wait, they're adding deep wound so that you know you're injured. That's crap. They need to stop with adding deep wound things. Stop it. Get some help. Behavior. Stop it. Get some help. You know why? Because deep wound cancels out freaking dead hard now. You can't use dead hard if you already have deep wound. So stop it. Killers that give you deep wound got an accidental buff. An accidental buff. So now even if you have the skill to time a dead hard right, because it's a more skill-based perk now, unless unfortunately you're going against a killer who has very bad ping, you won't be able to get any value because of deep wound. Just like going against a Legion, a Deathslinger, anybody who can give you deep wound, it's heckin' annoying. They toned down the survivor collision detection of the mastermind's bound. Nice! Okay, that's something I was hoping that they were gonna do, because holy crap. I would be running around, like trying to do a spin or something, and it was impossible. Absolutely impossible. You'd be practically behind him, and he would grab you. Finally, Raccoon City Police Station in this chapter has been split into two, the East Wing and the West Wing. Each map includes the main hall and small section of the opposite wing, greatly reducing its size compared to the original. We've also opened new pathways between various rooms to make the maps easier to navigate, as well as widening some hallways to make them feel less claustrophobic. I'm glad that they are widening the hallways, because holy shit, actually getting a nemesis on that map with his zombies running around through the hallways is pain. It's so painful. You can't even get, like, I've been blocked from 2 directions by his zombies and stuck just waiting for death. In the PTB, we found that there were too many pallets scattered around the Raccoon City police station, and now that its size has been reduced, we've reduced the number of pallets on the newly renovated maps for when the chapter releases. I don't know. Even with the amount of pallets that there were, we all died on the PTB immediately. I don't know who was having a very hard time that they complained to Survivor about the number of pallets and stuff like that on the PTB, because MMR isn't a thing on the PTB. So maybe it was unfortunately newer players or kind of unskilled players who were complaining. Don't know. With that, we've reached the end of the edition of the developer update. Okay. That's kind of cool. Also, if you go and look at their Dead by Daylight Twitter, they have a double rituals going on from August 23rd to the 30th. And they have a GamesCon sale up to 60% off the base game, up to 50% off select DLCs, up to 40% off select editions, and up to 20% off of expansion packs. and that's for the Epic's Game Store. All right, that's all I have for you today, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a wonderful day.